We are at this AIE World Fair Conference in SF. I have with me Mike Chambers, Darko. I'm going to ask both of you some interesting questions.
I want to get to the point where I'm only known as Mike. I am Mike, you are Darko.
The problem is my last name is super complicated. That's why I'm just Darko. Yeah. That's the whole thing. The trick is get a complicated last name.
That's actually correct. My first question, Mike, I'll start with you. My first question is, what did you learn coming to this AIE World Fair conference that you didn't know before?
That I didn't know before? I know a lot of things.
That's the reason I'm asking the question. I know you know a lot of things.
No, I'm joking. I've done this kind of stuff for a while. The conferences I used to attend two or three years ago. It's not that long ago. It feels like a long time ago. That was much more niche. It was much more people at the very nerdy edge of everything, if I can say that. There are still nerds here, don't get me wrong. It's just so much more of a pervasive conversation. There's so many more people involved in AI right now. It's really hit mainstream. I guess that was kind of obvious. Look at it. You can see it now. This is really mainstream.
Darko, what is your take? What did you learn that you didn't know before coming to this conference?
I've been here a couple of years, for the last couple of years. Every time I've seen something is that the problem keeps changing. 2 years ago, the problem was how do we get tool use to work in my thing? It's the correct tool. Today it's completely different. We've actually went down the software development lifecycle. It's not can this LLM produce good code? Is that can we verify that this code is good? Can we remove the bottleneck somewhere down the line? How can we do a lot more by shifting left at the same time also being able to control the whole pipeline? A lot of the developers, a lot of the partners and startups here that I've seen are actually trying to fight that or solve that, from context management to pull request management to all kinds of things. I think what I've learned is that people keep coming up with new problems. I guess that's good because hopefully we get to solve it. I don't know.
Which problem are you interested in solving?
My biggest thing right now that I feel like we should solve, or somebody should solve, is model routing or orchestration. Cost optimization is going to be the next big thing, is right now. Being able to route your request with a proper size model is going to be incredibly important. Right now, people are brute forcing everything into the biggest LLMs because it works. I think that's one of the important elements is going to be having a layer that orchestrates that and choosing the correct model for the correct task.
Now let's pass it over to Mike. What's your take? What problem are you trying to solve? Or what is your focus area these days?
I think cost optimization is a really on point here. Looking to see how we can reduce the number of tokens that we're using in order to be able to get the same outcome. Absolutely. There's also the opportunities for us to start looking at getting a little bit deeper down the stack. How about training our own small language models? Small language models used to be a thing back in the day. People experimenting around with the transformer architecture. I think now, as with all of these things, the reason for doing things like supervised fine-tuning and this kind of thing, LoRa tuning, all this kind of stuff over time, the reasons for doing this kind of thing has changed. Now, I also think the reason for putting together small language models has changed. Let's look at creating specific models, because now we know that generative AI and transformer architectures, these models are capable of doing amazing things. Enterprise and business and startups, everybody's seen that they can do those things. They're also seeing that it can also be quite costly if they bed down and say, okay, man, we're going to do that thing long term now. There's this opportunity to say, let's try and train small language models to get that value out and to take those kinds of really interesting products to market.
I thought you will talk about security or evaluation or stuff that.
I will say that as well. The fact that you said observability, really important this year. We saw a lot of agent experimentation last year, a lot of people like messing around with stuff. Then what happened? We had OpenClaw happened at the beginning of this year. Now let's not get bogged down in that too much, other than to say that was a really interesting moment in the whole agentic story. What it showed to me was that there's a lot of people out there who have been experimenting with interesting things that they're very happy to run locally and just play around with and do kinds of potentially questionable things. Why haven't they actually also taken those agents and put them into real big scale production? Probably because they won't sleep at night if they do.
That's true.
Getting the observability and evaluation side of it, you're absolutely on point. Absolutely. Super important this year. People need to be looking at that.
Just last question. One word answer.
That's very difficult for me. I'll try.
One word answer. 2023, generative AI came in. 2024 was the year of retrieval, augmented generation, where we were adding data, giving it to the models. 2025, we said year of agents, nothing went into production. 2026, about the agentic harness and that stuff. What do you think 2027 would be?
It's going to be about some level of automation that actually runs for a long period of time. Frontier model companies right now, what they're focusing on is trying to get models that will work for days, maybe weeks at a time, not flailing around just burning tokens for the sake of it, doing really valuable work. Super long horizon context stuff with agents. That's, I think, what next year is going to be about.
Okay, and Darko.
One word.
One
sorry.
sentence.
I forgot
Okay,
it was
let's do one sentence for you.
I'll do a word as cost optimization.
Cost optimization. Perfect.
I
Thank
don't
you
need to
both.
elaborate that, yeah.
Thank you both.